Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Money Lynn, and welcome to the next episode of the Money Lynn and Friends Show. Today, I am blessed to have not only one of my colleagues, but one of my clients with me, Kawanna Pleasant. She is the founder and CEO of PurFix Cocktails, hailing from Harlem. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much for having me here.
problem.
I love your show.
Thank you.
So my name is Kawanna Pleasant, affectionately called KP. I don't really like Kawanna, but Lynn insists.
Yes.
So I let her. It's fine. It's like big sister stuff. So, but KP, I'm from Harlem. I am a business owner, entrepreneur, a mother, a wife, and hopefully your favorite cocktail in the refrigerator coming up soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, how did you get in the RTD cocktail business? RTD meaning ready to drink. How did you get into this business?
Well, I've been in the alcohol industry since I've been about 23, so not to tell my age, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always loved making cocktails. One of my favorite specialty cocktails was always a rum punch, among other drinks.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had such a passion for it, and I've seen so much room for growth and expansion in the alcohol field that I pretty much worked my way up the ladder to being a sales rep for some of the top liquor endorsement companies in the country, and to finally being able to have the opportunity to present you guys with my own products.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So how old is your line? Well, yes. When did you start it?
PurFix is my baby. So she's about 18 months old roughly, but a brainchild of mine for many, many years. Came up with the idea over dinner. We came up with the name over dinner with my husband. He came up with the name idea. And from there, I just started to create my own signature cocktails. And now I wanted to find a way to present it to you guys. So pretty much literally crawled my way up the food ladder to being able to have the opportunity to display it on a larger platform. So I have so many other drinks lined up coming.
What are some of the other drinks you have coming?
I plan on going through the whole spirits. So this one is a rum.
Okay.
So some people don't like rum. So I want to make something with vodka as well.
Okay,
Some people
cool.
don't like vodka. I want to do a tequila. So I'm trying to go down the line so that I'm very well-rounded and I'm going to have a very beautiful collection of signature cocktails that you've never had.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, let's get into the taste of this, okay? And what made you decide to do, because I am her publicist, you know what I mean? And I have had plenty of these drinks already. I already know the spill, honey.
Right.
And the spill for the PurFix cocktail is to shake, pop, and sip.
That's right.
Shake, pop, and sip, okay?
She patented that, by the way.
Yes.
So
Yes,
just so
I
you
did.
know.
Ow, there goes the pop. And then
Here comes the sip.
You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's
you know
always
what I
5
mean?
o'clock
Wait, we have to
somewhere.
toast.
Of course.
Yeah.
Salud. I'm waiting for you.
Yes.
You know we gotta meet eyes, so it's not official.
Yes. And let me see. Let me give a special toast. I am toasting to you on this. Not just it's already Women's History Month is already over, but guess what? April is Black Women's History Month. Okay, and so to you, Black woman, I am so proud of you. This is very innovative. You are competing with the big dogs, and I know that it's not easy. Okay, and I declare that your hands will be blessed in this venture.
Amen. Amen.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Gets me going.
It's so refreshing. It makes me think, about a beach. Like I'm on an island. I just want to close my eyes and act like I hear the waves going. Okay? It's so good. Let me take another sip.
I already did too.
Okay.
So you're probably behind me, but it's the perfect blend of everything. Anybody can go to the store and buy a bottle of rum. You can easily buy a bottle of vodka. But when you get home, the part of what I'm gonna mix it with,
right? That part
is what it comes down to. So
then it's just like you get overwhelmed, like, oh, what am I gonna make? This is perfect for me. I'm on the go. You know what I'm saying? Drop this in my purse. A client working my nerves. I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? Go get me a little cup, and I'm happy.
It's
you
perfect.
know what I mean?
And what I love about it as well is not only, of course, you drink it cold, but it's not carbonated, guys. Meaning that it doesn't have any fizz, any soda effect. So I put mine in the freezer.
Oh yeah, dope.
So while I'm like frying my chicken or helping with homework, and I'm just in my mind like I can't wait to sit down and relax, I throw it in the freezer for about an hour, and it gets nice and slushy and cold, and then it won't burst. So when you crack it open, pop that straw in, it's so slushy and fruity. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And it's 10% alcohol too, guys. So you can pump it up if you like, but it can be enjoyed alone as is, and it'll definitely give you a nice buzz.
Yes, it does. So what made you decide to come up with the flavor of the rum punch first out of all of your RTDs?
Well, firstly, my rum punch was something that I made really well as a bartender. Okay. So I always had my own signature kind of flavor, my own signature thing with rum punch. But the reason I chose this one especially is that I did my research before I entered the field. I noticed that everyone had a vodka soda, everyone had margaritas or martinis, but no one really had a good punch.
Right.
I didn't see anything in the rum category that was really of a catch. So I figured that was a very uncharted area, and that that would be a great place to start, especially since that was already something that I mastered.
Makes sense. That makes perfectly good sense.
There's a million margaritas. There's a million vodka soda in the can. You know, they just switch the flavors up. But I wanted to really give people something that when they taste it, they're like, I haven't had this before.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, that feeling like when you go on vacation and you go to the resort and you go up to the bartender and you're like, make me something good.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I want you to feel like this is that something.
Right. I love that.
Thank you. I'm really passionate about it.
I love that. And what you're doing for an African American female in terms of the ready to drink spirits, this is so groundbreaking. Like, how do you sustain? How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep going?
Well, I have a dream, Lynn.
Okay.
I have a dream, and I always tell this to women that outside of being mothers and wives, you have to have a separate identity. We all have to have something that we're striving for to leave some type of imprint or mark on the world, even if it is just kindness.
I love that.
And for me, alcohol has always been a love for mine because I've learned how to make people enjoy it. You're having a bad day, you come have a drink. You're having a good day, you come have a drink. You're broke, you have a drink. You have money, you want to have a drink. So I've learned that a good cocktail really brings people together. It really brings your mood. It can change your mood. It's not always about getting staggering, drunk or anything like that. Sometimes it's just about enjoying a nice drink that makes you feel even, you feel good, and you can still wake up in the morning, you can still function with your children, you can still do what you need to, but you just feel nice and you feel even, and it makes you feel like you really went somewhere and that you really had a cocktail that I put a lot of my energy, a lot of my spirit. I didn't just take 2 juices, 3 juices and just throw it together. I really took time to curate this to a flavor that I think people will love.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. That is awesome. So this is 2025. We're in the first quarter is coming to an end. Yep. What are your goals for the brand for the rest of this year?
Well, my first primary goal is to launch 1, possibly 2 new flavors by Memorial Day. So I'm planning on starting you guys summers off. If you haven't had it before, I want to have a line for you to choose from. So that's my next initial short-term goal is to create the line so that you guys can start to see the longevity, and then I can give the expansion of the different taste palettes I have. My long-term goal is to be in everyone's house, is to be able to have this success story of the underdog that did compete with the White Claw and the High Noons and all the big companies, and just to kind of be a symbol of hope and progress, of that you don't just have to dream stuff, that some things can come true if you try and you work hard enough.
I love that. That's awesome. And I'm motivated. Shoot, let me go get my goals together, okay?
Yeah.
Let me go write down my goals. Let me make sure I got my goals together, because those goals are very focused.
Because you know what happens, Lynn, is days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months.
Yeah, how do you stay focused? How do you stay focused?
I've started a manifestation list.
Really?
Yes. I didn't do a vision board. I'm not that cool.
You're not that girl.
I'll be honest. I'm not
okay.
that cool. But I did take one of my kids' composition books.
Really?
And I called it "And Another Thing."
Oh.
Because everybody that knows me knows that I'll say something and I'll be like, and another thing. Right? But it's only facts.
Okay.
So I started to jot down the things that I wanted to see. I started to create lists for, okay, this week I need to get in touch with Lynn. This week I need to create my label. This week I need to do laundry. You know, I mean, when you start to create the list and you see it, you can start to see those things you're knocking off your list and those things that you're stagnant at. And looking at it makes it so much more real, because we know what we need to do.
I love that because, you know, it gets a little overwhelming for me with my clients, and so I list them all. And I you can't see that's off camera, but that is a list of all of my clients. And I'm like, how am I going to get to all these clients? So now I switched it to either I make a decision in the morning. Either I do 30 minutes a day per client, or I do an hour a day per client. And if I don't get through the list, then I'll move it to tomorrow.
Right, but but that's baby steps that you're chiseling away at for the week. But if you just approach everything and you're kind of winging it, like I said, every time you turn around, you'll be like, it's Friday again?
Right.
What?
Woo.
It's April already? I feel like the ball just dropped.
Yes.
And next thing you know, it'll be Memorial Day, and you know it's only 6 weeks of summer in New York, y'all.
Yeah.
We get 6 weeks.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get this out to everybody by Memorial Day.
Yes.
Start of the summer, a nice, fresh, crisp line. You're outside, you're at the cookout, you're hanging outside. Just go grab a can from your local bodega or your liquor store. And I'm trying to be everywhere. And I want to be
You're going to be everywhere.
Yes.
You're going to be everywhere because I'm on this team. Okay?
That part.
I'm on this team.
We got goals.
Yes, we have goals.
We
and
do.
I'll sit to that.
But it's not easy. But it's become a lot more tolerable since I have you. I'll be really honest. You've taken a lot of burden.
Oh, thank you.
No, you can pat yourself on the back, and I'll pat it too, because I'll be honest, you do take a lot of the burden away, a lot of the thought process. And it's always awesome when you have another
ear.
Bigger than that, another powerful Black woman that has the same vision as you.
Yes.
Because in this industry, and I don't like to pair races and stuff like that, but sometimes it really is better when you work with people that have like mind.
Yes.
And that's disregarding color or culture.
Right.
So once I feel like I finally found someone who is of like mind of my team and have the same goal, it's kind of hard for us not to skyrocket from here.
Right. Absolutely.
That part.
And what I also loved was that, girl, it is a small world, you know what I mean? And we know a lot of people in common, and those people that we know that we have in common are coming together to help us make sure that your brand is pushed to the next level. And I love that.
It's crazy.
I love that. And, you know, off camera, we were talking about how anybody can go and do this. It's about consistency. It's about relationships.
Yep.
And it's about focus, you know what I mean? Because when you give me a call, you say, I'm going to call you tomorrow at noon. Boom. You call me tomorrow at noon at 12:00.
11:59, I'm dialing out.
When you're the type of client that when you're calling, I need to make sure that all my ducks are in a row, because I try to anticipate your questions, your needs, your wants, everything, so that when you do call our call, it's smooth.
I have my and another thing book. And that's another thing, is people spend a lot of time wasting time.
Right.
So all those idle time that people spend on Instagram and stuff like that, I spend doing crossword puzzles, you know, learning words of the day.
Oh, nice.
Researching TTB, researching.
What's TTB?
TTB is the tobacco and the alcohol. It's like the SLA for the liquor authority.
Okay.
So everything that I wanted to know, I would literally stop in the middle of cooking and say, you know what? And I'll write it down.
Okay.
So then this way, or here's another great reference, right? You hear a word that you don't know, or you think of something, go to your Google and open the page up. And then close your phone.
Right.
At least you know when you go back to it, it'll be there.
Right.
So I have like 30 windows open of things and thoughts that
30
are meant
windows.
to.
Oh, your battery's dying.
Oh, no, and it does, because I'm constantly in a learning mode, and that's the thing with humans. It's like we feel like we've learned it all. Every day is a learning mode, but then you also have to teach them what you learn. So mostly everything that I've learned over the last 2 years has honestly been trial and error, and kind of like tough times, like getting pushed down and then figuring out how to get back up. But when I got back up, I was stronger than I was when I got pushed before.
Right.
But that was
Yes.
based off of knowledge.
Clock that T, clock that T.
Yeah, but that's based off knowledge because the information is there. The books are there. The information is there. It's just we have to stop waiting for someone else to spoon feed because people gatekeep and everyone don't have the same intentions for your company. So if you believe in you, being an entrepreneur is a very lonely road. It's a very, one day you're excited, the next day you're like, forget it. Kind of road, and you have to really stick to it because at the end of the day, my goal, which is I told you, longevity and perseverance, and to leave some type of legacy for my children, and to show other girls of color that this can be done. It can happen. It can happen.
Yes, it can. And then, you know, off camera, we're talking about gatekeeping, and the thing about gatekeeping is that it's okay to pass on the information. It's okay to pass on the knowledge because at the end of the day, if that information is meant to be for that person, they will make it happen. No one still has your recipe and your formula. One phone number or one piece of advice is not going to cost you anything to just give. And so with that being said, could you provide whoever is watching right now 3 pieces of advice that you would give them if they are also interested in starting their own ready-to-drink beverage?
Okay, well, the first thing I would say, and I'll keep it short, really direct, is have your paperwork together. Don't look to
What is
ride
the paperwork?
over the paperwork,
What does the paperwork
and
entail?
that's what I mean. For the most part, get your LLC. It does not cost much to get an LLC and an EIN. I believe you can even get an EIN number for free.
Yeah.
So just to at least start. And get that trademark. You know, like I always say to women, men alike, you get your tax money, don't take that trip, don't buy that bag. Go ahead and invest in something that may have some capital and some longevity that you can tangible, that you can see. So get your LLC, get your trademark, and just find some people that you can trust. Find some people that you can trust that actually have the same goals as you, that want what you want. And read.
Okay.
Read. Any information that you need to know in this whole world is at your fingertips. And if not, listen. Position yourself around people that have the information and be prepared to be in a sponge mentality. And then take from that and rinse and repeat. Read. Just do your research, do your information. Nothing is unobtainable. You just have to, find the right resources.
I love that.
Yep.
And where can consumers purchase your rum punch or any of your PurFix cocktails?
Well, you can go to my website, which is www.purfix, that's PURFIXRTD.com. And there's a little link there that says shop now. You guys can place your order. Depending on how close you are, they can do DoorDash or we can have it shipped. And we're in a bunch of liquor stores and bodegas around your neighborhood. And if we are not, drop a line to Money Lynn. Let us know where your store is, and I will make sure that we stock.
That part. I love that. And one last question. Who is one of your influences that has, that pushes you, that drives you to go and grow?
Professionally or personally?
Both. Give me both. Professionally who and personally who?
Professionally, it's going to be kind of Snoop.
Snoop, yes.
I'll tell you why.
Yes,
Snoop is the jack of all trades.
Yes.
He's the mama I made it and
Right.
didn't have to change.
That
He
part.
didn't stop smoking. He didn't change his personality. He's down with Martha. He's found a way to fit.
Yes.
He doesn't have a dimmer. He can go into any room and fit, and he's found a way to be in every industry. He has wine. He has his own RTDs as well,
Yes.
gin and juice. So I would say Snoop, because Snoop is a jack of all trades, and I don't
Okay.
plan on standing still. I
Okay.
do look up to him. In my personal life, my kids and my husband.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
My kids and my husband. That's my motivation, my headache, my reason for. And I really, especially in the neighborhood, in the way that I've grown up in the underserved communities, I really want to show my sons, specifically my sons, that there's so much more to life than any kind of violence, than any kind of gangs, than
Absolutely.
any kind of negativity. I want them to live above that, and I want to show them a beautiful life, and I want to show them that I'm extremely hardworking and trying to set a foundation that hopefully will last them and their children for generations to come.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Lynn.
I really enjoyed this interview, girl.
Thank you.
You put the battery behind my back to
We
step it
all
up.
need it.
You
We all
know,
need it sometimes.
to step it up and just tighten up. You know what I mean? Because look at this. I mean, this is amazing.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And I remember going into a liquor store in Harlem, and you mentioned Snoop, and your RTD, your ready to drink beverage, was right next to his. And I was like, look at that. Okay.
People think that success is monetary. Success is not monetary. Success is food in your refrigerator and a full heart and people in your home that love you. And success for me is already right in front of me.
Wow.
I can only go up from here. You're gonna help me.
That's true. That's a fact.
I can only go up from here. I can't go. How can I go backwards? I've already been to the bottom. I grew up in the bottom.
Wow, that's interesting, and that is great to hear, and I'm happy for you, and I'm glad I'm on this ride with you.
Yes.
Definitely, yes,
To the top.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Lynn.
This has been a pure joy. Cheers to you again and your success.
Cheers to PurFix.
And cheers to the viewers. I hope you found this episode to be motivating. Until next time, bye.